good evening. I'm normally driving a van when I do this, but today I thought I'd do it in the comfort of my lodge. I'm down at sunny Whiteacres in Cornwall, although it's not very sunny now, it's late evening. And it's the day before a 3-day winter festival, which means Silverfish and F1s only, no carp at all. I like to call them ABC matches, anything but carp. So, and that's the plan anyway. So I got here about 1 o'clock this afternoon. I had a few hours on Trelawney. Caught a load of fish, caught a load of roach and skimmers, and the F1s rooked up late like they normally do. I've probably had the biggest F1 I've ever seen out the lake today, so which I think was about at least £6. I had to get a photo of it anyway, but I just wish I'd weighed it. But hey ho, anyway. So, but yeah, anyway, it's the night before. I've just been finishing off a few hook lengths. And I thought I'd just show you some of my gear that I'm just going to be using for the weekend. And look, I actually have hair, yeah, not a lot of it, I must admit, but I've normally got the old hat on, but just prove that I actually do have hair, so I look better with a hat than less of my face to see. But anyway, so we'll have a little look at what I've got set up, and or what I've got ready. Hopefully this will flick round. How was that flick round? Yeah, so I've just been tying up a few rigs and topping up a few bits and bobs. Move my keys out the way. So I've got a hook length box stacked with hooks. I've just tied about 30-40 hooks, so there's loads in there, all different sorts. A load of my old hooks still in there. Once they've used up, I'm pretty much moving over most of me. Well, I've got some here. I've been pretty impressed with these silver baggers. They're a nice black nickel hook, which I think will be spot on for this winter. Mostly in an 18, although I think the 16s might be quite nice as well. So I've got a few F1 hooks as well for when you want a nice fine wire hook as well, but mostly everything's sort of on the roachy sort of scale. So and 6 to 8 elastic, the new Slik, that's all I've been using for several months now, it feels like, and it's just absolutely awesome stuff. It's not like any other elastic out there. It sort of behaves like hollow, although it is solid, and it just doesn't lock up like hollow elastics can in cold weather. Although we haven't got any cold weather yet, because even though it's November, it's really mild. And 8 to 10 if I'm going to be on F1s. If I'm on like the high numbers of Twin Oaks or down the edge potentially on Trelawney or somewhere, then I'll probably use the green 8 to 10. Actually, I've had them out on 6 to 8. I've also been using some solid 5. I'm still waiting to get some 4 to 6 Slik. So in the meantime, I'm using Matrix solid 5s anyway. And again, all my hooks are on 08 or 09. Mostly 09, I think, because that's a nice in between for roach, silvers, and F1s. If I'm on out and out F1s, you know, if you might want £100 over the next 2 or 3 days, then I might be on 010, but 09 is the in-between size. That's what I tend to use. If it's out and out roach, 08. If it's skimmers and F1s and bits and bobs, then 09. And if it's out and out F1s, then I'll be using 010 paramicron. So great stuff, actually, really impressed with this line. So I used to use a line many years ago, which I gather this is based on. It just reminds me of what that line used to be like, and I used to use that right down to 0.05 for joker fishing, and this stuff really is like that. So impressed with the stuff. So anyway, let's have a look at the all-important rigs. There we are, so me some soldiers. This top tray, this time of year, all I take is literally 2 trays of rigs. The bottom tray's just got like a few carpy sort of marginy floats and a few dibs and that, but this top tray is the tray that's going to be doing all the damage. These are the floats I really like using. These are made by Gaz Malman, they're handmade floats. Malman Secrets, these are called. Just got a 1.2mm solid plastic tip, carbon stem, nice thin body. There's a really thin paint job, so they take loads of shot, and it's also almost I'm squeezing that as hard as I can. It's just indestructible, that. So the only thing I don't like about them is they still say 4x10, 4x12, 4x14, which means nothing to anyone. It's an archaic way of marking up floats, but almost every manufacturer seems to do it. Everything should be in grams as far as I'm concerned, but that's the only thing I can say bad about these floats. I wish I was in 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 rather than 4x10, 4x12, 4x14, which means nothing to most people. Whenever I'm out coaching,
amount of times people ask me, what does 4x14 mean, and I have to explain it all, and it's an archaic way of measuring up floats, but hey ho, that's the way they are. So but that's what I'm expecting using mostly, well, anything from 4x8 right up to 4x14, which is about 0.1 to say 0.4. And then if I want a bit more of a bristle, then I'm on the these are Dusty Titans. They've actually got a titanium wire stem, so they're nice and stable, but also the titanium wire is not going to bend out of shape. And they've just got it's about 1.5mm hollow tip, that, so a bit more buoyancy. There's more F1s, or if I'm fishing at range or whatever, I want a little bit more stability and everything. And I've also got a few dolphins tied up to 0.8. Thankfully these are in grams, so 0.6s and 0.8s in these, and that's what I'll use on the deeper pegs, specifically for skimmers, where I might be fishing for lift bites and just want to bulk everything down really fast. And the only other thing I've got is a couple of these as well. Again, a titanium wire stem. These are 0.1s. They take, I think, 6 number 12s or 4 number 11s. And if I'm catching ultra shallow, then I might be using these for roach. And the only lake really where I've made a float like this work is on Sycamore, catching like 30-pound roach shallow, and that. Then these floats could come into play. But other than that, generally a nice little bristle, fishing through the water, nice strung out rigs generally, bulking it if small fish are a problem, or I just want to bomb it down to the fish. But the water's clear and every fish is precious, so generally strung out rigs, number 11 droppers generally, maybe number 10s on my bigger rigs, and maybe number 12s on my absolute lightest rigs, but generally number 11s are that's it. So that's it. These are the rigs I'm expecting to use. Like I say, I've got a few rigs in the lower tray. I'll just show you the bits and bobs really from the carp. I've got a few jiggers and stuff. I can't see me using those, and some these floats I've had made specially for me by Malman Mojos, which are brilliant. A few lighter dolphins. There's 4x8 secrets. There's some Mick Wilkinson floats similar to the dibbers I've got. I've had them years, and they just always come with me on these silverfish matches. Hardly ever get used, but you never know. Excuse me. And some inline jobbies, and that's about it really. So yeah, and that's it. We're all ready. I've got loads of casters, maggots, worms, pinkies, sweet corn as well will definitely come into play on some of the lakes. So that's that, and hopefully I can catch a few fish and hopefully get 3 good days on the balance. That's the plan anyway. Catch a load of fish, job done.